YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We have a new Dynam. Are you kidding me? Yes, that's right. We really do. It's an all new redesigned, supposedly, version 3, new livery. And this thing actually went together super smooth. And yes, we set it up with AS3X Plus with an AR8360T, which is crazy, which means, check this out, guys. We have basically extra stabilization on the nose gear, which should be a treat because this plane will probably need it. Twin EDFs, 6S, 3200, 50C. We're gonna start with Smart Pack, but we're gonna try a CNHL, a China Hobby Line pack next. Throttle cuts off, takeoff flaps deployed. Here we go. Holy cow, it's in the air immediately.
Okay.
Okay, I'm out of the flaps. Gear going up. Getting status reports already. The LEDs, of course, are gonna help us with visibility. Holy cow, that thing is so quiet.
It is.
Oh, love the green LED right there. Beautiful sunset today.
That's the sunrise, honey.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's on the other side of the planet. I knew there was something weird about this film.
Yeah.
Listen. That was like 15% throttle, guys. Absolutely amazing. Holy crap. Okay, did you see what just happened there?
Yeah, what was that?
It rotated.
I know.
I think it was probably a twist in the wing possibly, because I am like cruising this thing. Love the colors. I wonder if it just can't handle the speed or if one of the EDFs slowed down. A little bit of rudder. Oh. I don't know, I'm gonna try it again though.
Okay.
A little bit of rudder. Man, that thing looks good. The scale lines are absolutely fantastic. And guys, look at my throttle position. I'm like 50, 60%, and it's just cruising. And it's rock stinking solid. Whoa, did you hear that? Did you hear that click?
I heard the click.
Oh yeah, I lost it. I lost it.
Shoot.
Well, there we go, guys. I heard it. There was a click.
Oh yeah.
It was a distinct click.
I thought I heard something a little bit the first time, but not nearly like that.
It was so distinct.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that the rudder was spinning us in a circle. So basically, dang it, that thing was flying so good. It was so good. And it went together good. At least the field is taken out.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll just have to walk over there. And you'll notice I went into a flat spin. I did that on purpose because I was like, okay, well, if it's gonna flat spin, maybe I can slow down the rate of descent and see if I can get the thing to land.
So
we got to give him a shot of the pond.
Oh, I know, it's beautiful this morning.
Oh man, that's so pretty. Why don't you walk really smooth so that it's not jumpy? It is going to be so gorgeous. Look at that, guys. We're going to show you what happened with this plane, but we got to show you what happened with the pond because that is so dang cool. Every morning we see our water evaporating.
Yeah, no kidding. Do you think we lost a control surface?
It sounds like something broke free. Because when I gave it yaw, it wanted to go just in a circle, or we threw a fan. And if we threw a fan, that would explain why it went in a circle. Because if we throw a fan, then that means there's a high probability that we actually were inducing a yaw.
Right.
Inadvertently. Now, if I would have cut the throttle, I would have been able to control it. And that's why I'm not so much convinced that that's what happened. Because if I would have thrown a fan, I don't know if I could have kept, I would have been able to cut the throttle and fly straight. I tried that. So if it was a locked rudder servo, let's say, I suppose that's possible too. So let's see what happened here. I mean, it's in one piece-ish.
Yeah.
It might actually be okay. I didn't put the gear down, obviously.
You missed the tree line, so you don't have to get it out of a tree.
Ailerons are working, elevator's working, rudder is working. What the heck isn't working? Oh, look, we threw a fan.
Oh,
We threw a fan. I was correct in my assessment.
Yep.
The flaps are working. The gear are going to be fine. So, it went so bad as to break the nacelle.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Split it.
So guys, the buzzing you hear is just a buzz we heard. So, real quick, you can see where the battery was. The thing was flying phenomenal. this just bent out, okay? And then this, we'll pin that back in and let's pick it up.
Wow.
Holy cow. The whole thing.
It's like totally.
It's like out of there.
Yeah.
Throttle cut is on, folks. What the frick?
Oh, geez. Like
it's not even broken.
attached.
It's not even broken.
Wait, what?
It's not broken. Guys, how do you have a crash like that and not break a plane?
There's like...
I don't know if that's a testament to soybeans or a testament to, this is just nuts. Look at that.
No, I know.
This thing is like not even broken. That's impossible.
The way that you induced that flat spin really like brought it down pretty nicely.
So here's what happened. The snap we heard was the EDF spinning off of its shaft and into the body of the nacelle. That's exactly what we heard. That can be re-glued, and I should be able to get that fan back on there. Guys, but it's killing me. Look at this beautiful, beautiful view. Look at this beautiful scene. And a beautiful new Dynam that, by the way, let's just check the gear because I mean, it's slick because of the frost. Gear out, no stabilizer until now. 2-second deployment. Okay, watch this, going back in, nothing. That's what AS3X Plus does. It adds that nose gear stabilizer. See how it waits until it's out? That's all set up. We show exactly how to do it in the Unbox Build Radio setup. I want to hate on Dynam so bad right now, but I just can't because that thing actually crashed great. And if I remember right, we crashed our last Dynam 262.
No, we crashed
the B26 when the prop came off.
Same problem.
It's so close. Oh, guys. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get this thing back together and get it back in the air, because that's really what you want to see. And that's what I want to see. Oh, and by the way, look, telemetry. Watch. Okay. You guys have seen the whole thing. 23.5 volts. Now, the 3200 milliamp pack was immediately giving me status reports, which tells me that we were probably drawn a little bit more than we should. But you also saw how far forward I had that battery. There's no reason you couldn't use a China Hobbyline 5000 in here and just push it back, because this thing has huge amounts of lift, and there's really no reason you can't use that bigger battery, except that the gear might not tolerate it. Well, we don't know if the gear will tolerate it, but the nacelles will.
Apparently so.
So, guys, thanks for watching this. We're obviously gonna have to clip and try to figure out what we're doing with that EDF, and we'll come right back. Okay, so 2mm drive. We're just gonna take this spinner off. Pretty strong fan. Can't believe it didn't get destroyed. Shouldn't have come off. That was ridiculous. Huge QC issue. Okay, that comes out. Then this should separate. And then this collet and prop adapter is gonna release. Hopefully I'll be able to get this off of here. So we'll bite down on that with a crescent wrench and we'll break it free. Really easy to break, way too easy, which tells me they never got it torqued down. Then I'm gonna go for a screwdriver that I can just open up these pedals just a little bit. In fact, I'm gonna carefully go with a flat bladed screwdriver. Nope, too big. I'll go for a little bit smaller, like this. Get in here and just open that up just a hair so I can get on the shaft easy. Now here's the key. I gotta be able to tighten this from up front, inside the nacelle.
Right.
So this is gonna be a little bit tricky. First of all, my plane is energized. The throttle cut is on. I trust the system because we've already tested the throttle cut. Throttle cut is on and I've adjusted the throttle up and down. Look, see? So we know that we're safe to reach in there. And then this fan damaged some of the foam, but I don't really care. The foam can get pulled through the fan without damaging anything. I'm just like really kind of amazed. I don't know if I'm impressed. I'm probably gonna have to get a socket to do this. So I'll get a socket and come right back. Okay, so this is actually a metric, 13mm, okay, for this nut. So as you can see, it fits perfect. See if I can get it in here. Whoops. You know what? Might be easier to just pop off the extension. See if I can slip it on this way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now all I gotta do is just try to push it on. Yep, it's on all the way, it's seated. So now I'm gonna have to find something long and skinny and slender to stick in there. Don't make any jokes, camera
I
crew.
didn't say anything. I thought about it.
Phillips, number 2. This has a rounded edge. I was thinking about a flap, but then I'm like, I might damage one of the fins. So I'm gonna put it in here, trap the blade at an angle. See, I'm at an angle of the pitch of the blade. Oh, this is scary because I don't want to break it. Here, camera crew, chalk the wheel, please. Okay. Okay, so it's trying to spin, and you just got to be careful. I mean, like, you can't put that much pressure on this fan blade. I don't know what the torque spec would be, but I mean, you got to be able to brace it somehow.
Right.
Okay, I'm going up against the vertical part, and then I'm just like holding it right at the root. Can you get that camera angle down so they can see what I'm doing? You guys see what I'm doing? I got this Phillips screwdriver up there braced against the top. That's all I think I can get away with, okay? So now that I'm done with that, it just becomes, you can let go. It just becomes a matter of holding this screw.
Is there a way to put like Loctite or something on there since you can't get it?
You mean
tighter
on a collet? No.
Because it has to be able to come off.
It's a collet. It's a pinch. It's a pinch fitting. It doesn't work that way, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to use a screwdriver to deliver this.
Okay.
Just try to push that in there because it's pretty deep in here, guys. Yeah, it wants to fall, so I'll have to deliver it with a screw. This thing you could probably put some Loctite on if it was a problem, but it's just a spinner. Problem is, the spinner comes off, it'll break your blades too. Okay, so I've got that started. Okay, I can feel the teat of the tip. Don't give me that
You're
look.
not helping me at all this morning.
Don't give me that look. There are sometimes there are technical things you have to say, you know? It's not always just trying to satiate your camera crew's lustful desires. Like when I wake you up early to film RC
Yeah,
airplanes.
right. Really. You're really winning today.
Yeah, that is definitely a doghouse worthy event. Guys, this is a safety warning. Don't do that thing.
Don't wake your wife up early to film your toys.
If you want to know a one-way trip to the doghouse, it's actually worse than buying RC airplanes.
It's really nice when you come in, rub my back, and you're like, it's calm outside.
Get up.
Hurry,
We call that foreplay.
Yeah, right. No.
Okay. Throttle cuts off. Okay, I'm just gonna put my lanyard on so it doesn't get sucked into my thingling. Okay, so here it is, throttle cuts off. Okay, it's working. Throttle cuts back on. Do we just film the rest of this flight?
Yeah, are you gonna glue that crack or is it okay?
To be honest, why don't we just go ahead? We'll do CA, we don't usually do CA. And the reason we're doing CA is just for brevity reasons.
Right.
And we'll just do a drip of CA. I would normally try to force some China glue in there because it'd be better for the vibration, but this is just like, we gotta get it done sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna not even change batteries? Is that what you're suggesting?
I am thinking that, well, I don't know. I feel like we've shortchanged this battery, but at the same time, we could probably.
This battery kind of seemed like it was shortchanging us.
So you wanna try something different?
I don't know.
The worst damage, okay, so look, I'm using this. I'm gonna dip the tip, okay? See how I dip the tip and I get a drip? Dip the tip, get a drip, pull it up in from the bottom, and I'm working this front edge, okay? You guys see what I did? Dip the tip, and then I want it on the tip. I want the drip on the tip, okay? Gosh, it's ripe for the picking today. The drip, okay? Watch this. Now I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna pull it up. Get that glue on there, and then just work it together a little bit. And then grab your kicker. Now this paint is opaque, it's gonna catch this kicker, so it's gonna make the paint run. So I'm gonna hold it and just get it done. Let it wick just the joint, okay? And we're not gonna wipe that.
Okay.
Because that would definitely make that paint. There might even be a spot there. Okay, you see how it changed colors? That means it's set. See it?
Yep.
Good.
Okay. Let's go.
BSI, medium, foam safe, odorless CA, okay? Instaset, which is a BSI, Bob Smith Industries product. I like BSI, it's my favorite choice for CA. If you're used to following our channel, of course, we always link to stuff from Horizon and a variety of other sources. This is one of the only things you really can't get there. So I'm gonna lick my finger, spread some saliva across that, lick my finger, spread some saliva across that. Why? Not to be gross, but I wanna stop that stuff from wiping the paint off. So I'm lubricating it with spit.
Great. Again, good morning.
The Dynam. I'm so excited to see this thing fly. I don't want to change batteries.
Well, okay, then let's.
Okay, we only made like 2 passes, for God's sake. I feel like it's cheating.
Okay.
Okay, let's show it in live in person. We're gonna just go back outside, okay?
Do you mean take the China Hobby Line battery with us?
Yeah, I guess we could. So we'll just take this, just so you guys know, this is the other battery we're talking about. We do have an adapter on there because ours came with XT90, and the mothership is coming over the hill. Show the people. So yes, yep, all right, okay. We're going out. We'll see you on the other side. Person. All right, so just full disclosure, 23.5 volts. We're at like 18 minutes. 18 minutes past our timer. So the timer's useless. I'm gonna go ahead and reset it. Now I have 3 minutes, okay?
That's probably gonna be all right.
It's probably just gonna be a little foobarred on the time. Sorry, guys. Takeoff flaps are not necessary to get off the ground, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. Here we go. Easy on the nose gear, out of the flaps. We need more down elevator correction. Up go the gear. I'm at 40–50% throttle, just avoiding the Eagle killing zone. Gosh, that is so dang gorgeous. Yeah, hard on the throttle. Wow. It does its own loop. We might need to mix in some contrary elevator. She's given us status reports. And I think what's going on is that the draw on this pack is, whoa, was that almost a bird strike?
No, I think they're behind you.
Okay, going inside this time.
Okay.
One step out. Oh man, that looks so dang good. There is a ton of rudder authority and I feel like this thing is locked in right now. It is admittedly calm, but man, it looks good flying.
Yes.
Guys, the AS3X Plus has this thing just spot on. 21.4. It wouldn't be a Dynam if the gear, oh, there it did it again.
Yep, I heard it.
Lost it. Okay, I'm gonna try to glide it in. Camera crew?
Yep, I'm behind you.
Flaps, gear. Nope, it's flying, it's flying. But you saw what happened. You saw what happened, right? It's not in my head.
No, I heard it.
I thought we threw the prop, but we didn't.
What was that then?
I don't know. I don't know, but it's flying. I didn't hear a pop. What if it was the other side this time?
But
if it was, what?
It happened the first time there was like a little thing because we both commented on the twist.
Yeah, but no, that happened and then, but that feels like it was the same direction. Inside pass. Good?
Yep.
Ooh, almost hit that tree. Oh, that looks so dang gorgeous. Oh, I want to get through the steam. You think I can get through the steam?
Oh, I don't know.
If I try hard? No, you got to stay out of the sun. Come out one more step. I think you might be able to, I don't think you'll see it. Just come out into the sun.
Oh yeah, oh goodness.
So folks, Dynams are always kind of like, they've been the bane of our existence for a while, but I gotta say, this one went together really easy.
Really did.
Okay, I can't see it in the sun. Strangely enough, I can't look directly into ball of fire. Can you take a step to the right so I can go behind you? Thank you. So yeah, this thing cruising around is doing absolutely phenomenal. I wanna see if I can demonstrate. Okay, right back to where you normally go. Thank you. There's our timer. It doesn't seem to be too annoyed about flying. It's just more a matter of the drawdown. I must have my alarm status reports too low. Hard on the throttle. It's when we top out. It seems to be when we top out. That's when we had that problem, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that gray is awesome. Just gliding, guys. Don't be afraid to use your rudder for minor corrections in your heading. Oh my goodness, that is so delicious. Going through the hole. Guys, this is the hole we fly. It's just stabilizing. It just seems to stay at 21.5. Outside this time. Dang, I love the way this thing is flying. I wish that prop had not thrown. Because I'm just afraid that's gonna talk people out of buying this plane. And it's a good plane. It's really a good plane. The thrust angle is probably a little bit up from where I would want it to be ideally, but I also haven't even given a click of trim. I'm gonna do, there was 3 clicks of trim, and did you notice that the audio event was competing?
Yes.
So it didn't click when I was clicking the trim in. I think if I did a little throttle to elevator mix, I could do like maybe a positional, I don't know how much though. See, that's the problem, is it's gotta be speed sensitive to really work. But goodness gracious, this thing, not only is it easy to fly, but it looks really amazing. And if anybody knows anything about Brian Phillips RC, it's that I love scale planes. Okay, flaps. Out of the flaps. I gotta say, the flaps don't feel like they really do anything. Let's try doing another pass toward us. Okay. Slowing it down better, full landing flaps. I noticed the elevator correction because it just pitched down a little bit. Mm-hmm. So we probably do not need any elevator correction for the flaps. It doesn't really slow down that much though. Okay, out of the flaps. Okay, we're at 20.8, so I'm probably gonna try to take a landing. Okay. So I think I wanna come from this way just because my comfort level is better there. Okay, gear coming out. Beautiful. So now we're gonna have that stabilizer with the nose gear. Here's our takeoff flaps. Okay, now landing flaps. I'm gonna try to take a relatively long approach over the top of where we crashed that plane, the Viper, the other day. She's cruising. Yeah, that's like way too fast for a Dynam, Brian. Ooh. But you know what? I wanted to keep the weight off of the nose gear, and that's what I did. I accomplished my result, and it was actually quite easy to control down the runway. By the way, if you have to make a turn on your runway was designed poorly, Brian. That's why we're extending it the other direction. All right, guys, here it comes. It's coming up so we can visit. First of all, do we see the mains? Are they twisted in, or are they just, that's kind of.
They look canted in, are they?
Are they canted? Did they break free? I know this is a Dynam, but guys, I just want you to see tracking straight. That's AS3X Plus right there. And yes, that's a wiggly gear, but you know what? It seems to be intact. Throttle cuts on, out of the flaps. That was an incredible experience. And when I say incredible, I'm not saying it's necessarily good, incredible. It's just, it was a really interesting experience. I cannot believe this plane is in one piece right now.
Nope.
By all measures, it should have been in 70 pieces out there. I got lucky that I thought to spin it and flat spin it because it was gonna come in and crash. It would have been in 14 pieces. We would have been done with this thing.
Yeah.
But I got lucky and gave it throttle. Yeah, that thing isn't thrown. I do have a grass blade in there. I must have missed that earlier. But yeah, as you can see, everything is in there still. The throttle cut is on, by the way. I mean, I could clean that out a little bit. And then let's check the gear. They did put in more heavy duty retracts.
Yeah. Is it?
It's, well, wait, is it? I don't know, is it supposed to move? How the heck is that on there? I don't even see a set screw. Oh, you know what?
Is that just the?
One of the landing gear doors. Look, the gear are mounted. Oh, wait. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back with it just a hair. I'm gonna just bend it and see if it goes. What am I hitting? Oh, that's what I'm hitting, look. Now it closes. You see what's going on? That's supposed to be pulled out. So we have to learn one of these set screws is how it actually holds itself in position, which is my retract doors weren't fully collapsed, if you noticed, from the flight. So I gotta say, as much as I wanna hate on Dynam, that flight was awesome. It was super easy to fly. It definitely has some quirky tendencies, especially at the top of the flight envelope when you're topping out of a high altitude maneuver, okay? And then also, the fact that this EDF fan came off is just nuts, to be honest. So I gotta say, the thing went together probably about as easy as a Dynam can go together. And when I say a Dynam, let's just say a different brand. It went together almost as easy, maybe a little bit more effort than like an FMS or an E-Flight product. Definitely not an E-Flight bind and fly, because this is a plug and fly.
Right.
We had a lot of wiring that we had to work through, which if I remember right from the last time we did an ME262, it was a real pain in the neck on that one, but it's just because there's a lot of stuff going on here, and twin EDFs do carry more wiring with them, okay? So I gotta say, I'm like super excited to fly this more, and I'm just wondering, do we need to put the China Highline in? Or the China Hobby Line?
Do we have time?
I don't know if I have time. I want to fly it so bad.
The thing is, if Dynam is making this big of an adjustment,
it's a huge improvement, guys. We aren't just saying that because we want to help support small companies that we work with. But the truth is, when you buy this from the link, you're helping to support a small company. But I'm going to tell you this. I was so ready to just trash Dynam the whole time we did this. And we still made fun of them constantly. But the truth is, these are huge improvements, huge. I mean, like they're earth-shatteringly.
Yeah.
If you've seen how bad some of the Dynams were, you'll be amazed. Now, there's still room for improvement, don't get me wrong. Instruction manual sucks terribly still.
Yep.
Obviously, we had some quality control issues still. The landing gear could use a little bit more reinforcing, maybe a little bit of work. I could probably open that gear, put a little CA on that shaft just so it can't fall down. And then that's gonna fix the problem where these, and I'm upside down right now, when they fall down like that, I could try to tighten the set screw. I don't know that that's gonna do it though. See, they dropped and now they won't close until you pull it out. So I can fix that with a little bit of CA or even make a small collar out of plastic. I could even use like a stir, because that'd be about the right size as the shaft. I could cut it laterally and then stick it around there, do 3 or 4 layers, and then that would act as a little C spacer. That would work. I can do that. But I mean, honestly, the thing went together super easy. I glued the canopy using the provided China glue, and it went really well, and it looks perfect. Look.
Yeah, it does.
I was going to use Formula 460 or whatever it is, 406, the
506,
506, whatever that thing is, that looks like milky white glue that turns out rubbery and it works really good. Hey, all I'm gonna say is it looks good. The Pilot looked good. Yeah. It was easy to install. I did have to install the Pilot. So all I'm gonna say is if you guys are turning a blind eye to Dynam, there's 2 reasons why I can encourage you not to on this one. A, they fixed a lot of problems on it. B, it's so cheap that you can get away with having a certain expectation of a little additional QC. Right. Okay, that's what we always said before. But it got to the point where it's like, good Lord, you got to practically redesign the plane. Yeah. Not so with this. There's sticky servos still, mostly because of the pinch hinge. When the pinch hinges get worked in, I think that's going to be resolved largely, okay? And this one's the worst. Also, they used metal gear servos on the main control surfaces, but not the flaps, so that's kind of annoying. This needs to be an inboard flap too. If you're going to use flaps on this plane and you want them to be super effective, just plan on getting another pair of servos, cut this little panel out, put another servo here. It would not be that hard to add a servo. And you can come in from back here with your wire. And then you can go from here and here and then just Y it in, and it'd be a tri-cable then into your Y. Well, it'd be 2 Ys that go to another Y. Yeah. That's what I would do. It would not only look cooler, but it probably actually function pretty good. You do get a little bit of dampening of speed, but it's not enough to really matter. So
it carries a lot of speed.
It carries a lot of speed. It's pretty speedy. And to be honest with you, Dynams do one thing badly, and that is landing, but they have soft gear. Yeah. So, and when I say landing, I mean because the gear historically have been so weak. These ones, the retracts seem to be a little bit better, but the actual landing gear legs are made of plastic. They're gonna break easy, okay? So complaints are still plethora. There's a lot of them, but I gotta say they've improved on a lot of things. The LEDs are still kind of so-so. They're not very bright, but they are existent. Yep. So you know, some of these competitive brands like coming out with brand new planes without LEDs. I just don't understand. How are we not putting LEDs? They cannot cost that much to put LEDs in planes. I mean, if Dynam's doing it, for God's sakes. Oh, and they do come with a flash mechanism. I don't like flashing LEDs on my nav light, so I take that out, and you'll see in our full unbox build radio setup. So here on Brian Phillips RC, we do long format because we want to show you the full scope of what to expect with a given article. In this case, the Dynam 262 V3 technically, and they have really corrected a lot on this. So I think it's worth a second look if you guys have turned away from Dynam. I don't blame you, first of all. Second of all, we're going to try to do a couple more. I'm not going to glutton for punishment. I don't want to do like every one of them. But here's what I got to say. If you're on a tight budget and you want to fly planes that are big, this is a 1.5 meter plane. It is big,
It's a big
okay?
plane. Yep.
And I don't know if you noticed when it crashed on the ground and got like virtually zero damage. That is unheard of, okay? So that is worth something. So if you're a new pilot and you want to get an EDF, I got to say this one is pretty easy to fly. In terms of damage up here, that's the most damage you got is the little pinch mark here because the canopy popped off. It probably flexed a little bit when it hit. But the fuse is strong, it's sturdy. The wings have a little bit of juiciness to them, if you ask me. But the horizontal stabilizer was way better than I remember. It went on and it was square, okay? Also, the angle of incidence on the motors could be improved upon, but you can play with that yourself and see how you can improve it. These are fully assembled when you get it, okay? So you don't have to do that. Well, ours was 99% assembled. It was the last couple of cranks of the torque wrench on the EDF module that they forgot. But beyond that, guys, I gotta say, amazed by the improvements. It's like watching a little league team turn into a high school team, turning into a college team. Problem is with Dynam, we were looking at a middle school team turning back to an elementary school team. But now they've really kicked it up and they're probably like a really good high school team. But they're still in a market of college and NFL teams. So you got to remember that, and I'm not just trying to BS you because I want you to spend your hard-earned RC dollars on something that's garbage just to help some guy out. The truth is, if it sucks, we're going to still tell you that. And we pointed out plenty of problems. So at the end of the day, we love this hobby more than we love one particular business relationship, and our business relationship happens to be with another lover of the hobby. And that would be true for all of them, because who does this that doesn't love it? Because if you love making money in a business, there's a million easier ways to do it than fixed wing RC aircraft, especially scale replica aircraft. There's so many hoops to jump through. It's extremely expensive. It's hard barrier of entry. It costs a fortune to bring this stuff over from China. And it's even worse to build them here. So Sig, I don't know how you're doing it. Oh, well, I guess you're probably not really. Prove us wrong, Sig. We live like 45-minute drive from you. Maybe you could send us a plane once and we could review it. But anyway, just saying, that's all I got to say for today about this Dynam because it is really good. But it's really good on the scale of Dynam. Is it really good on the sliding scale of RC? I would say that it's firmly in the middle of the pack, which I'd never put Dynam in the middle of the pack. Even the C-17, or what's the one, that, C-47. It's one of my favorites.
Train.
Huh?
The Skytrain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The C-47 is just like, you can't get a lot of them out there. And it flies really good. And it was super easy. And so the thing is, well, that one was a pain in the butt build. But it actually was not a bad plane.
So maybe.
And it's gorgeous. So here's what I'm going to say. Dynam 262, the Messerschmitt 262 is awesome. I would suggest you consider it seriously if you're considering an ME 262. Obviously, there's other offerings of this plane. There's the Ultra Micro we did for E-Flight not too long ago. Very good plane, very fun, but it's a short flight time, and it's like almost too easy. This one, I feel like it's so weird because it flies just like the Ultra Micro, only big.
Yeah.
And so it's a great experience, really. And that's what's funny is because ordinarily the Ultra Micros fly just like a big plane. Well, this thing just does a good job, but like I said, there's still issues, okay? That doesn't mean it's perfect, and we don't want you to hear that wrong, okay? So help out FPV Builds, buy it from the link. You'll help support us, you'll help support them. Obviously, this thing would be a great birthday present, Christmas present, something like that. You know, if you're buying one for Jesus on Christmas, you can buy him a Christmas present. But there it is, guys. I don't know why birthday came up first.
I don't know.
It's like Christmas buying season. Oh man, it's so good though. I want to fly it again, but I have to go make a living. Oh, which is so disappointing. but it's almost the end of the week. So guys, if you want to help support us, the best thing you can do is watch a video, smash the like button, click the bell for notifications when you do subscribe, because we know you will if you like this type of content. We do short form content. It's always highlights of what we've already done in the long format. So we're not abandoning any of our long format stuff.
Nope.
We're just doing the shorts too, to keep YouTube gobs happy, because they pretty much are destroying channels that don't do shorts. Yeah. That's the way it goes. Sorry. We didn't pick it. We didn't want to do it, but here we are doing it. So if you guys are enjoying the shorts, smash the like button, leave us some comments, show YouTube exactly where they can shove it. Should make me feel good.
If you're not enjoying them, just ignore them, because nothing else is changing.
Nothing else is changing, exactly. And if you want to help support us financially, the best thing you can do is buy a plane. Doesn't have to be this one. If you don't like this, buy the Ultra Micro. If you don't like this, buy the cabin.
Or a different Dynam.
Or a different Dynam. You know, we've got links to all that stuff so you can help support us. And along the way to the path to success and recovery on Dynam, we will probably do another couple of them if we get an opportunity, okay? Because I was super impressed with how well this went, okay? Now, also, if you want to support us, but you just don't have room for another plane, you don't have time for another plane, you're between projects right now, Patreon, monthly support, YouTube monthly support, YouTube super thanks, one-time donations, and PayPal for one-time donations. We accept all those, but at the end of the day, we still think the best way to do it is just buy something you're already gonna buy anyway, and just help them know that we sent you there on the path to the RC shop. So that's all we got for you today. We'll try it with the China Hobby line, 5,000 probably, to see how it tolerates the weight, and we'll come back for more. So stay tuned, guys. So much more right around the corner on Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching. All right, YouTube, so I figured out the problem with the gear door. Okay, so you'll see this one doesn't move and this one does. Open the gear, and this is now set, and this is not. It's also allowed to play this way, which I said that cannot be acceptable. That's not normal. This one has movement because of the assembly. It's got a steerable nose gear, so it's gonna move a little bit. But this one here, you see how nice that is? It's nice and tight. I thought it was gonna be tightened by using these set screws. You see, it's not even dropped all the way, okay? So this moves in and out, this doesn't, okay? I'm gonna show you how to fix it right now. I am using this new fin, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's about a 1.5, Phillips 1.5. And just undo these 4 screws here, and you can get at the landing gear to actually make this adjustment. Now, again, this is a Dynam problem. You shouldn't have to have this adjustment in order that your plane would work properly, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's the way it is, and so you might as well know how to do it, because the truth is you're gonna be doing it sooner than you probably think. And then also a 1.5 millimeter hex drive, or not hex drive, but Allen head, okay? So now that we have this, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, try not to drop them like in the EDF duct or some stupid thing like that. You can just grab this and either lift it out like this, or you can retract the gear or unretract the gear in my case, and it makes it a little bit easier to pull it out. So just kind of rock back and forth a little bit, and it's held in by plastic, and then there's a wire that comes right here. So just be careful not to yank off the wire. And then all you have to do is get to this. Pull this down and get it kind of square, and then your set screw is either here or on the other side. And this, you can see what happened. It hit the flat. You see how it turned? It's turning in my hand. So pull it out like that, and then turn it, torque it down. And remember, your whole landing gear assembly is dependent on 1 grub screw purchase on a flattened portion of the shaft, okay? So now that you're done with that, you can go back into this, drop that back down in carefully, and then test before you screw it back down. Clear, clear, okay? And then if you have problems furthermore, then you have to actually undo that screw, just like we tightened, pull the whole thing out, and then change the flat that's been machined into that cylinder that is the shaft. You have to change that flat a little bit by grinding it, which is terrible. I don't want to have to do that. So I'm very happy to see. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw these screws back in. This is Brian Phillips RC at its heart. We find problems, we try to fix problems, we help you through problems, and if you need help with problems, or you've created new problems like running into trees, we'll try our best to help you either avoid hitting the trees in the first place or how to fix them. So if you're brand new to the channel, smash the like button right now. This is all we do is long format content, and then we do highlights in shorts. So hopefully we answered a question for you here, and this will make your Dynam experience just a little bit less Dynam-like. So let's show them now that we have all 4 screws. Keeping in mind, I did this to this side right before we started the video. Open, a lot less wiggle now. There is a little bit of wiggle, and that's just the way Dynam gear is, okay? But it's not like turning 30 degrees both ways. That is not a good look for a plane, because what'll happen is you'll be driving and they'll go, or you'll go, and you'll actually veer off to the side. And there's only so much a steerable nose gear can do when you have that much play and they happen to sync up. You will actually drift off the side of the driveway, pun intended, okay? So there you have it, guys. Now the gear retract, open and close. This one is at least pointed like this, so the air pressure of the moving air will push it closed more so. If it were that way, I'd be way more concerned because it would catch the air. Now, we should be able to put down without problems. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll do our best to help you. But as you can see, now this has a little bit of resistance. But how long is it gonna last? That's only time will tell, okay? Stay tuned. Okay, so there was 2 other really quick things that we wanted to try to correct on this plane. And obviously we got the gear figured out to where they're held in so the gears will cycle properly, okay? Now come around here, I'm gonna show you what else we did. So right here, I went into my flap system, and under flap system, I disassociated any elevator correction because I felt like there was too much down elevator correction. Now we could always turn that back on if we decide. It was pretty easy to have. And it was mostly noticed in flight with the landing flaps. It just pitched down. It was like it was pointing at the ground. I said, okay, well, they're so far outboard, it makes sense that we would lose a little bit of the need for that mix. Okay, so we have that back to 0, okay? Then the second thing I did is I added a mix. Now this mix is attached to, it's gonna be a throttle to elevator mix. It's only relevant when the C switch is all the way down. That's the way I did it to protect myself in case it doesn't work. So when I apply throttle, which the throttle cut's on, just to be clear, throttle cut is on, so it won't actually apply throttle now. This elevator should go down a little teeny bit. Okay, so with my switch down, when I apply throttle, it's gonna drop by a total of 3%. That's probably too much, and we'll find out in our first test flight, okay? So all I do is if I start doing that and I have wonky behavior, I can just shut it off right there, okay? So now look, nothing. You're just hearing the rudder move a little bit, okay? But as soon as it's turned on, you'll see it moves, but only by a teeny tiny factor. And so what I did was I set up a mix, and I'll just set up like a new one here. Okay, so if you set up a new one, just to show you how to do it from scratch, it'll be a curve, and then you're gonna set the input to be throttle, which you can't exercise, you have to scroll that in. And then you have to set up what the output's gonna be, which is gonna be elevator. So again, you can't exercise that either, evidently. And what you do is as you move this stick, it's gonna show a cursor that slides. And so what I wanna do is I wanna add a point. So I see this add point, so I'm gonna add a point, and then I'm gonna add another point somewhere, and then I'm just gonna leave that one there. So whatever they are, it's fine, it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you how to do it. Then you scroll, and you can change what the elevator correction is gonna be. In my case, it's gonna be a positive value. And how do I know that positive means this goes down? I guess and check until I see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this like way high, and you can see as I move my throttle, it points down, okay? So then I can scroll this back to 1, and then my second point, I want to be 2, and the third point, I want to be not 37, I want it to be like 3. Okay, this is just an example of how to do it. And then I wanna go curve with expo on, so it's not jumpy. Now it's active. And you'll see my last point is 0, so I don't want that. I want that to go back to there. But there may come a time when we actually want to take that curve back to 0 at the top of the ranks, okay? But you can see it just curves all the way through the range. And then what I did was I turned the switch to, in this case, I used C, okay? So you can say wherever you want it, the black one is where it's gonna be, okay? So you would set it to, in this case, it's already active as curve 1, so that's where it would be. So, and then wherever you don't want it to be true, then you would just double click it and it'll black it out. It'll gray it out, okay? Gray it out so that the mix doesn't even exist in that condition, okay? So now, because I don't want to have two mixes, I'm gonna go ahead and reset this particular mix number 3. We already set it up on mix number 2, okay? So reset, it's gonna reset to nothing. I'm gonna hit back, and then I'm gonna go back and just evaluate. So now, mix 2 is set to throttle to elevator. It's only relevant when the switch for C is in the downward most position. I just have 4 positions, 0, then this one, then that one, then that one, okay? So, like I said, at some point, if I need to add another point, then all I have to do is move the stick to where I want to add a point, and it gives you the option to add a point. And if you ever want to change a point, you just highlight that position, and then you can highlight remove point, and you can change where that goes, okay? So doing that would take this point away, and then it would re-span the actual curve, okay? So now that you know how to do that, we'll see if that actually works. I'm certain it's gonna make a difference. I'm not sure it's gonna be enough of a difference, and I'm not certain it's not gonna be too much of a difference, and that's my fear. Because you can't do any less than 1%, but you can add many points along the route. So like if you wanted to impact change between 0 and 1% for the first 50%, and then all the way to the end you want it to be 1, then you would do like 1% at the end, you do 1% here, and then you would add more points in the center, and then you can make your deviation that way. The other thing is you can overshoot and then undershoot, and you can actually change that to like more of a bell curve. It does not have to be linear if it's a curve. But on this plane, when I gave throttle, it wanted to roll on its own. And I don't like that. To me, it takes away the control from the pilot, and it puts it into the nuance of the thrust angle, which by the way, was true on the Ultra Micro as well. So maybe not to the same degree. This one was like way aggressive with it. And a bigger battery, which we plan to do next, might help with that a little bit, because admittedly, it's gonna be a little bit more nose heavy. So hopefully that answers your question. Here on Brian Phillips RC, we wanna give you guys the help you need so that you can find success with this and other expensive tools that you get as part of the RC experience. So let us know if you have questions. We'll do our best to help you. And that concludes my sticky note from earlier. So thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll answer all your questions, and we will have shown you a near perfect flight without any EDF fans blowing off or gear popping out or any of that stuff, because this is a Dynam, and we have high hopes for a successful flight some year. Stay tuned.